Hey you, let's talk about 8 ways that I get guys to be obsessed with me. Number 1, I enjoy my life and I enjoy being myself. This naturally puts me in a more playful, light, feminine energy. And no guys, obviously, I'm not always in that state. As you guys would know, I'm more in my dark, sultry era a lot of the time. But knowing how to tap into this, ooh, baby. How do I do it? I practice. And if you struggle with this, guys, I'd recommend you check out my video on how to be more feminine as a boss woman. It'll help. Honestly, it's just about having fun, about being present with the moment. If you're concerned about your ability to jump into your feminine energy, then keep an eye out, subscribe to my channel because I'm gonna have some more videos coming for you. Why does this work? Because when you are in this energy, you become a magnet for men. They want to bask in the glow of your aura, trust me. Any happiness that you have, they want to be in that. They want to contribute to it. Seeing you smile makes them feel good. Men feel good when they're in service of a beautiful fucking woman. When you're a happy woman who's joyful in her own company, practices gratitude and presence, oh my god, do they get addicted to that. Number 2, I take them or I leave them. I decide. I'm not rude. I just make the final call. Look, you gotta be confident, and if you don't feel that way, practice, baby, practice. As much as I enjoy being in my light feminine energy, as demonstrated by point 1, I equally, if not, am more confident in my dark feminine energy, in case you couldn't tell. I'm happy to say no and mean it. I can decide for myself what I want or what I don't want, and they know that. Yes, I'll be flirty and playful and cute, but if you do something to upset me, well, just as I give you my energy, I can equally take it away. Either way, it's not a loss. And I trust that if I'm doing that, I'm doing it for self-preservation, quite honestly. I don't feel the need to over-explain. I can be polite and I can distance myself. My ex actually, funnily enough, shared something with me that his mother once said to him. She said, "The woman decides." And at the time when I heard this, I couldn't quite wrap my head around it, but as I've matured, I realized it is true. See, it's men's job to pursue, and women's job to pick. Remember, as a woman, you will somewhat always have options. This gives you power. Use it wisely to make the right choices for yourself. Number 3, I make eye contact and I don't lead them on if I'm not interested. These are the practices of a confident woman and a woman who respects herself. You see, if you're leading a man on, it usually signals that you are seeking some sort of validation. And a woman that is confident in herself is not going to intentionally go out to inflict harm upon another individual just so that she can fill some void within herself to make herself feel better. Additionally, she wouldn't find it particularly useful. I mean, what objective does it meet? Yes, it's fun to toy and tease, as you guys might be able to tell from my channel, but to do so with malicious intent, that's not something I practice. And I'll be honest, with all the guys that I've dated, they respect that about me too. I think so many girls out here want, or so many women out here want a high value man, or they want to have better experiences with men. Now, obviously, men, well, not men, but people that aren't decent people will be people that aren't decent people. But if you want to increase your chances of attracting a decent human being in whatever situation that is in your life, start by being a decent human being. That can make a difference. And actually, I just ended something with somebody very dear to me, and I'm gonna call him baby boy, but it's been very respectful, the whole thing from start to finish, and you kind of do eventually overall attract what you are. You stay respectful, you get a higher chance of more respectful experiences in return. Number 4, baby. This one is not PC, okay? So for my little witchy girls out there, this one's for you. Visualization. So for this one, I visualize the scenes of the so-called obsession in my mind, whether it's how they would react to my Instagram post, or how they would turn and look at me when I enter a room, or just in general, how they look at me when we're having a conversation. If I fancy it, a mental visual of them simping for me, if I really want to take it to the extreme. Try satsing it, like before you go to bed, or if you're just driving in the car or whatever. I mean, please pay attention to the road. We don't need to be getting into too much trouble over here, but whenever feels good to you, do what feels natural. Visualize the obsession. Visualize the way these men treat you, and visualize the woman that you are that receives your desired obsession. Quick reference to Anila Sita, one of her videos, she talked about how she creates her own affirmations on her voice recordings. I think she writes it down or something. If she hears somebody say a compliment about someone, she's like, I would love to receive that compliment. And so she writes it down, or she makes affirmations for herself based off of the compliments she would want people to give her, or things that she would want people to be saying about her. So what you can do, literally loop the thoughts that you would want these guys to have looking at your Instagram. So when you look through your Instagram, you react to yourself in the way that you would want these men to react to you. Trust me, it works. Number 5, don't feel guilty about wanting them to meet your needs. Always be a woman who knows what she wants and magnetize them to you. Remember, men feel happiest when they are in service of your femininity. So give them room to do that. The way you do this is by being unapologetic about your needs and let them help you, whether it's on a day-to-day basis from some colleague or helpful, kind, random gentleman in the shop, or if it's in a relationship. Let them meet your needs. Let them problem solve. Trust me, baby, being a woman who knows what she wants will draw them to you like bees to honey. Get comfortable with the word no and expressing your needs. And remember, for every man who cannot meet your desire, there are 10 who would gladly do so, and then some. So step back and let the heroes come and find you. Or more specifically, save you. The key takeaway from this section is let them. Baby girl, I know you're strong. I know that. I know you can carry your own groceries and you can figure things out, and you know what, if it's relevant and necessary, then by all means. But this is about lifting the load. Let them carry it, let them handle it, let them flex and show off and be in service of you. They're quite simple like that. All you need to do is let them be strong, let them be manly, and praise them, and bada bing bada boom, they're putty in your hands. Let them. Let them. Let them be a man. Let them help you, make you happy, serve your needs and wants. Remember, if you want to attract a masculine man, masculine men are attracted to women who aren't stressed. And the only way for you to decrease your stress is to, quite frankly, put some of it on him. Because remember, a masculine man will always thrive in the condition of stress. Why? Because he embraces stress. He's a problem solver, he's pragmatic, he's smart, he's sharp, and he can handle it. Don't make him feel like he can't. So sweetie, stop taking on so much in the name of control. Sit back and let the magic unfold. Number 6. Don't be impressed by words or the bare minimum. Yeah, and should be one of your new favorite phrases, at least in your head. Remember, sweetie, you must be able to take care of yourself, and you must maintain high standards for what you will and will not accept, whether it's in life, or the language that is used in front of you, or how men treat you. When you take care of yourself and practice meeting your own needs, with time, you increase your self-esteem. You also start to recognize your own value. This, in turn, will help you to recognize what it is that you will and will not tolerate, what feels good and what doesn't. If you accept anything, whether it's verbal abuse being thrown your way or men behaving in a disgusting, inappropriate manner in front of you, and you just laugh along in the name of fitting in and not being perceived as an angry feminist, well, sweetie, what you're really doing is showing that you have no self-respect as an individual and as a woman. Listen, baby, I'm happy to disagree with a man. Just to be clear, not to fight with a man, but to disagree. I look out for contradictory behavior and I listen to my intuition. And if the situation is safe for me to do so, I will express my disagreement. And Lord, seeing yourself as somebody worthy of respect doesn't make you an angry feminist. But even if that is how they perceive you, you have legs. Remove yourself from that situation as much as you can. Stop draining yourself and put yourself in a position, in a place, in an environment around people where your value is recognized and your contribution is valued. And quite honestly, I would rather be perceived as an angry feminist than a convenient little good girl / doormat who will tolerate disrespect in the name of being nice and feminine. A woman who asks for things and is not easily impressed and loves the word no, knows how to practice it, and is happy to disagree with a man, not just for the sake of it, but because of a difference, a genuine difference in opinion. Well, she's not inherently masculine. She's in her feminine power because she is listening to herself and she's respecting herself. Don't let the broke betas tell you otherwise. Remember, as I've said in other videos, men are action-based creatures, and as the great Shalon Lester says, what you permit, you promote. So if you stay in situations where the behavior is just giving pure disrespect, or it's not meeting your requirements, why do you think anything will change? There is no incentive for the men to change, nor is there any space in your life for better to come your way. If you allow them to act like animals in front of you, you let the behavior slide. You don't speak up, you don't walk away, you don't draw a line, you keep entertaining it, and you stay in situations that are disgusting at best. What does that signal? What does that signal about you, your value, your values, and your boundaries? Be in places that recognize, if not increase, your value. Nowhere else. Number 7, be able to flirt. And if you struggle with this, I got a little something up the sleeve for you. Quick tricks. Check your Mercury sign in astrology, your Venus sign, perhaps even your Mars and rising, I might add. This will give you a flavor for what is most authentic to you. You don't need to be, what is it they say, a square peg in a round hole or the other way around. You don't need to force yourself to be a Blair Waldorf when you're a Serena van der Woodsen or vice versa. To find your flair, to find your style, check your signs. For me, for example, I am a Libra rising. So I know that sometimes the way I come across is quite flirty and friendly and cute and light. But my Venus and my Mercury in Scorpio certainly keeps me a little more intense, and at times even a little probing in my approach. Harness that. Harness your style. Now, for the little trixies, this one's for you. You need to learn how to harness your sensuality, not just your sexuality. What does this mean? Darling, sensuality is timeless. Sexuality, on the other hand, is easy. I mean, anybody can be sexual. For that, all you need to do is show more body parts, speak a certain way, and prioritize being very loud. Now, to be honest, nothing wrong with that. Each to their own, and sometimes that is what is quite honestly best for the situation. But the thing is, sensuality hits different. Sensuality is accessible to every single one of us. More often than not, sensuality wins, and it truly does suit every age. Sensuality is a subtle seduction. It's what to harness if you're looking for a tease. Something that simmers and stays on people's minds for more than just a moment. And why is it that sensuality has this effect? Well, it's because sexuality is somewhat the opposite. Sexuality is the opposite of hidden, especially in our modern culture. You can see it everywhere. Sensuality is quiet. It's a little shoulder peeping through, a little collarbone. It's in the way you move. It's what's between the lines, what's inferred. It's the ... between phrases. It's in the way you make eye contact, and everything that remains unsaid, the blanks that are to be filled, if you will. It's subtle. It's how you talk. It's how you breathe. It's how you feel in your body and how you express that and exude your own powerful magnetic energy when you walk into a room. It's how you feel about yourself. And it's about how you make others feel in your presence. Sensuality is about being able to feel how a breath feels in your body. It's being able to slow down. And only when you slow down and you feel your heart slow, your heart beat, can you fully be present with the person in front of you. Lean into that. Lean into the slow. Baby, sensuality is something that is accessible to every single one of us, irrespective of where we are in our lives. Listen, you may not feel the most in touch with yourself sexually, but But if you can learn to be in touch with yourself in a sensual way, how to worship the body that you're in, even if it's not what you would consider as stereotypically attractive, learn to see yourself as delicious and divine and enough and worthy of all that it is that you desire, well then, you'll have no problem flirting. Because the true art of seduction and flirtation is the ability to seduce oneself, to flirt with oneself, to walk past a mirror and say, hey, you're kind of cute. Can you feel sensual in yourself? Can you enjoy yourself? If you can do that, if you can be present in yourself, then the flirtation will just be a byproduct of it. And remember, darling, there are many ways to flirt. Like I said, you don't need to force being something that you're not. But the only way to find out your flair and your style is by getting in touch with yourself, by letting yourself play and explore and dance with what you feel. And quite honestly, some days my flirt game will be kind of like point one, very playful, very light, very feminine. A lot of smiling and laughing and walking with a smile. Other days I'm a little bit more moody and intense and Scorpio-ish, if you will. And other days I'm just downright out there. But the thing is, you just gotta have fun with it. Have fun with yourself and let yourself express whatever feels most authentic to you. It's very sexy. Number 8, last but not least, I am my own muse. Therefore, I maintain a sense of originality and flair. If you don't believe me, check out my Instagram. Baby, you gotta be inspired by yourself. You gotta be inspired by your authenticity, your essence. Lean into that. This is the greatest way to harness your power and become obsessed with yourself. Remember, men will see you the way that you see yourself. You gotta learn to be into yourself more, baby. Let me put it like this. If you see yourself as somebody worth prioritizing, how do you think he will see you? If you see yourself as somebody worthy of being in respectful situations and only respectful situations, how do you think he will see you? If you see yourself as somebody worthy of being worshipped, well then, how do you think he will see you? Pour into yourself, baby. Lean into your flair. Trust me, it works every time. Now, I'm gonna share a little something, okay? And I want you to know I have to preface this by saying I'm not trying to do this to be Miss Pick-Me-Sha around here, okay? But guys have said this to me over the years, and I think they mean it as a compliment, but anyway. They have said, well, that I'm not like other girls. And also that I'm different. Now, to be honest, yes and no. No in the sense that absolutely not, what are you talking about? I'm just like every other woman. I'm just wearing my makeup differently. Like, we've dolled ourselves up differently. Like, baby, chill. Or maybe I'm just like pretending to be really cool. Yeah, okay. But I can equally see why they might say that. Because I embrace what makes me unique and what makes me different. Whether it's the way that I flirt, or that I'm very direct and honest about what I want and what I feel, and I go after it, or it's just my style. I embrace my authenticity, and I suggest you do the same. And remember, guys, it's not about trying to not be like other girls. It's just about being more yourself, and that is when you will feel your best. Remember, all obsession starts from you being obsessed with yourself first and foremost. So do that and the rest will follow suit. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and comment down below for any thoughts you had, any input, any questions, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.